ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, we are living in an age where intellect is praised, where knowledge is worshiped, and yet wisdom is scarce. But let me tell you something today. There is a kind of woman, oh yes, there is, whose brilliance doesn't just shine in books, but in the way she walks, in the way she speaks, in the way she lives. I'm talking about the highly intelligent woman. Not the kind who boasts, not the kind who belittles, but the kind who builds, the kind who lifts others even as she climbs, the kind whose mind is sharp and whose heart is even sharper. Now let me tell you about her. She doesn't speak just to be heard, no. She speaks when there's truth to say. Her words carry weight because her thoughts are deep. She doesn't rush to post, to gossip, to prove. She pauses, she prays, she ponders. That is intelligence. She reads, not just for grades, not for applause, but because her spirit hungers for understanding. Her bookshelf is a garden, and her mind is a field where seeds of wisdom are sown every single day. She sets boundaries, and listen to me now, she sets them not in anger, but in wisdom. She knows that saying no can be the most loving thing she ever says. She doesn't let the world trample on her spirit just to be polite. That is not weakness, that is strength. She feels deeply, oh yes she does, but she is not ruled by those feelings. No, she governs them with grace. She listens not just with her ears, but with her soul. She sees behind the mask. She speaks with empathy, not ego. That is emotional intelligence. And while the world shouts for followers and likes, she walks quietly in purpose. She knows who she is. She knows who she is. And she doesn't need a crowd to confirm her calling. She cherishes solitude, not because she's antisocial, but because she knows that stillness is where the whisper of truth speaks loudest. In the quiet, she becomes strong. In the silence, she is refined. She chooses her circle with care. She walks with the wise and avoids the foolish. She does not settle for shallow conversations because her mind is made for depth. And let me tell you something else. She is not afraid to ask the hard questions. She doesn't follow blindly. She searches, she wrestles, she seeks truth like silver and searches for it like hidden treasure. She is disciplined, not in spurts, but daily. Not because it's easy, but because it's right. She wakes with purpose. She moves with intention, and she does not wait for motivation to guide her. She lets character lead. But hear me now, this woman, this brilliant woman, she does not tear others down. She is not threatened by the shine of another. No, she lights the lamps of others while keeping her flame burning strong. This, my friends, is what true intelligence looks like. It is not loud. It is not arrogant. It is not showy. It is steady. It is humble. It is powerful. And if you are such a woman, stand tall. And if you are raising one, stand firm. And if you've never seen one, open your eyes. Because she is not far. She's in the classroom. She's in the boardroom. She's in the home. She's in the mirror. She doesn't rush into conversation, nor does she speak simply to fill silence. Her words are not thrown like stones. They are placed like bricks, building understanding, not breaking peace. Before she speaks, she listens. Before she acts, she observes. She weighs the cost, considers the consequences, and asks herself, is this true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? Her speech is measured, not mechanical, because it flows from a mind trained in discernment. In a world quick to react, she chooses to respond. Where others blurt, she breathes. Where some erupt, she reflects. She's not easily provoked. Her silence is not weakness, it's wisdom under control. It's not that she lacks words. Oh, no. She understands the power of timing. The right words at the wrong time can wound, and the wrong words at any time can destroy. So she chooses her words like an artist chooses her colors, not to impress, but to express something real, something lasting. She knows that influence begins not with volume, but with vision. And that wisdom, when spoken gently, speaks louder than all the noise around her. Her hunger for knowledge is never satisfied, and her curiosity knows no finish line. She reads not just to inform her mind, but to transform her soul. Books are not escapes for her, they are encounters. With every page, she listens to voices from the past, walks in the shoes of others, and stretches her understanding of the world. Fiction teaches her empathy. History gives her perspective. Science sharpens her logic, and philosophy deepens her reflection. She doesn't just skim headlines or scroll through distractions. She dives deep. She underlines. She questions. She pauses. When a line stirs her spirit, she doesn't just move on. She stops to let it settle. The books she reads shape her values, challenge her assumptions, and feed the fire within her to grow. And while others may read for appearance or to follow trends, she reads with intention. The stories she carries, the truths she uncovers, and the ideas she wrestles with, they become part of her. They don't just stay on the page. They show up in her conversations, in her decisions, in the way she loves, leads, and lives. To her, reading is not a hobby. It's a discipline. It's a daily invitation to leave the familiar and walk into the unknown, not to get lost, but to be found. Because every time she opens a book, she's not just learning about the world, she's discovering more about who she is and who she's becoming. She understands that her time, her energy, and her peace are sacred, and she guards them with wisdom and strength. She does not allow guilt to guide her decisions, nor does she stretch herself thin to meet the demands of those who do not respect her limits. She has learned, sometimes through pain, that saying yes to everyone often means saying no to herself, to her health, to her purpose. When she sets boundaries, it's not an act of selfishness, it's an act of stewardship. She is not building walls to keep people out. She's building gates with locks to protect what matters most. And those who truly care for her, who value her, who love her, understand and respect those boundaries. She does not apologize for needing space, for saying not today, or for choosing rest over routine. She no longer entertains relationships that drain her or conversations that diminish her. She doesn't feel obligated to explain her no or justify her silence because she knows that her worth is not tied to how much she gives away, but in how wisely she chooses to give. She is in touch with her emotions, but they do not control her. She has learned to navigate the depths of her heart, to honor her feelings without allowing them to dictate her actions. Emotions are powerful, but she knows that they are not the rulers of her life. She is. She has cultivated the art of self-awareness, recognizing when her emotions are rooted in truth and when they are influenced by past hurts or present fear. This clarity allows her to engage with others from a place of understanding rather than reaction. Her emotional intelligence is reflected in her ability to empathize deeply with others. She doesn't just hear words, she hears the heart behind them. She understands the power of presence, of holding space for another's pain without rushing to fix it. She listens, truly listens, not with the intention of offering advice or solutions, but simply to understand. She knows that sometimes the greatest gift she can give is her attention, her compassion, her willingness to be, and yet she doesn't neglect her own emotions in the process. She has learned that it's not selfish to prioritize her own emotional well-being. She takes the time to check in with herself, to recognize when she is overwhelmed, and to seek the care she needs. Whether it's through solitude, journaling, prayer, or conversation with trusted friends, she knows that nurturing her own emotional health is not a luxury but a necessity. In every interaction, her emotional intelligence shapes the way she responds, the way she cares, and the way she leads. She chooses kindness over bitterness, understanding over assumption, and patience over frustration. Her heart is open, but it is not unguarded. It is discerning, wise, and grounded in truth. Through her emotional intelligence, she builds deeper, more meaningful connections with those around her, and she grows in the process. She is not swayed by the fleeting winds of popularity or the applause of the crowd. Her compass is set on something deeper, on a sense of purpose that transcends the superficial and reaches straight into her heart. She knows that true fulfillment does not come from the approval of others, but from living in alignment with her own values, her own passions, and her own calling.